And I said, welcome to the hood. Welcome to the hood. Welcome to the place where nothing ever ends up good. And they say they give you disgrace if you can't find yourself a job. Around here, there's either been a drought or then there's been a flood. No one ever built an ark for anybody from the block. Man, are trying to ring the heavens, but God never gets in touch with certain people. It's a must to come across as tough, because you don't want to be a victim when Beretta start to bust. So I said, welcome to the hood. Welcome to the hood when no one teaches you to love, because we're all from...
What's happened?
Products of lust. We learn to tell a lie before we even learn to trust, and then we see our people die as if the sorrow ain't enough. So-and-so killed so-and-so, I struggle to keep up. A victim of knife crime, you hit him in the lung. The press are making articles expressing their disgust, but where there's no opportunity, survival is a must. So I say, welcome to the hood. Welcome to the hood, where boredom leads to depression, depression leads to drugs, and drugs numb the pain of all the fucked up stuff that you have to see when you're forced into growing up. Nobody's responsible, everybody's corrupt, and school's a waste of time because we're learning our books. And when you're academic, you get taken for a mug. Mathematics won't help when you're in a puddle of blood. So I say, welcome to the hood. Welcome to the hood. It's like the only thing that ever sells is the dust. But the stress builds up and it was all a dream until Biggie got shot.
Welcome to the place that I call home.
Manchester.
Be careful, it don't turn your heart to stone. Welcome to the hood. You live or you die, you lose or you win.
And I say, welcome to the hood. Welcome to the hood. The person they call mental health is the person that we call mom. We either don't have it, that, or we have more than one, and we're told to fly the nest before we even learn to run. You don't have to be a soldier here to hold a gun, and watching other people suffer is what we consider fun. Now suffering is standard, you'll have to toughen up. At least that's what your mother tells you when she's fully drunk. People steal for a living and end up in the can. It's not easier in jail, but you won't understand. Being a criminal was not part of the plan, but how are you supposed to work when nobody will take you on? So I say, welcome to the hood. Welcome to the hood. Depression and anxiety get swept under the rug. These gangsters...
4,600 videos. Nobody's made that much content. Hey, nobody.
Welcome to the place that I call home.
Manchester.
Be careful, it don't turn your heart to stone. Welcome to the world that lives. You live or you die, you lose or you win. There ain't no heaven for a thug. Feels like my good ain't ever good enough. Seems like I'm running out of love. You live or you die, you lose or you win. Say that ain't no heaven for a thug. Seems like my good ain't ever good enough. Feels like I'm running out of love. You live or you die.
You're welcome. Hello, can you see me okay? Hey, can you see me okay?
Comes a point in life where you gotta learn to keep it moving. And what I mean by that is you can't look at a problem, you gotta look through a problem.
you die.
The minute you understand that, you can start to live. Box him alone. You know? Watch this. Nobody's doing this for me. Not even behind closed doors. Nobody's stopping this army. Cause that's gonna start wars. I hear they wanna know my story, but they don't wanna know yours. That's cause I make music to make me feel good, not to go on tours. But I hear that my tours just been booked, and I'm gonna make dough. I've never had money in the bank, I'm looking at the screen just watching it grow. Along with my confidence, cause these days I walk with a toxic glow. I remember the days when I couldn't come out of my house cause I felt so low. But wait, I was sitting on the 142, or was it the 143? Looking at my Sony Ericsson Walkman phone, nobody rang me. Then I look at my Nokia, but you know, say that I made money on the streets. When you're in a bad place, you don't want to show your face. You don't want to make beat, so I just made music. Ask Ali Kareem, I was a studio freak. I fell asleep on the sofa, and I drifted into the deepest sleep. I dreamt that I was in solitary confinement, and I was back in Stokeheath. That's where I met failure, and he saw somewhere in it my dreams. But I kept it moving. I kept on trying, but I just kept losing. More time, I be in my beamer cruising. Sometimes I drop the top, just to remind myself that I'm on top. Just to remind myself that I gotta keep it moving. Swear down, swear down. I kept on trying, but I just kept losing. Swear down, swear down. More time, I be in my beamer cruising. Swear down, swear down. Sometimes I drop the top, just to remind myself that I'm on top. Just to remind myself that I gotta keep it moving. Swear down. It's like man wanna see me slow down. It's like they wanna see me break down like an old Vauxhall with a rattling sound. But there's no way that I'm gonna turn around. More to the point, did he think I'm a clown? Did he think that I made all this money on the road to keep walking around my hometown? As if I don't wanna see the rest of the world. As if I wanna see my brother get killed. As if I didn't keep a couple toasters around me just in case someone has to get grilled. I think they forget that I come from a place so bad that people rarely escape. And the way that I broke the mold, I swear I'm like Superman with no cape. But you're looking at a walking legend. And that's mad cause they just don't know it yet. I see my mom break down through owing debt to the point that my head was going west. But when I see my uncle drop the top on that beamer, I was so impressed that I hit the road with no regrets. And I had to do loads of CS cause I was a persistent young offender. I hit the road on my own agenda. Nobody could tell me what to do, cause if I got grounded I jumped out the window. Heard that my dad could ride a ninja, so I started riding. I was brought up on loads of lies. I thought my little sister's dad was mine, but I kept it moving. I kept on trying, but I just kept losing. More time, I be in my beamer cruising. Sometimes I drop the top, just to remind myself that I'm on top. Just to remind myself that I gotta keep it moving. Swear down, swear down. I kept on trying, but I just kept losing. Swear down, swear down. More time, I be in my beamer cruising. Swear down, swear down. Sometimes I drop the top, just to remind myself that I'm on top. Just to remind myself that I gotta keep it moving.
Shout out to Bugsy. Hello, good afternoon.
When those people who you thought
The courier's passed through my system. Tell you what, this morning my ass come out of my stomach. Sorry, my stomach come out of my ass, man.
Tells you you're not gonna make it.
Fuck them.
When it seems like things couldn't get any worse. I need you to dig deep.
I got a bit of strength the other night.
Power deep within you.
Seeing me 12-year-old.
When all hell is breaking loose in your life, you got to take a stand. You got to stand up against all the negativity that's consuming you and surrounding you. And you got to create a new reality for yourself. You've got to fight for a different outcome for you and your dreams.
This is not the end. This is your new beginning. You have the power to change your story. No one and no obstacle can take that away from you. A champion isn't made when things are easy. Champions are forged through fire, through defeat, through the struggle of having to deal with the worst imaginable and not running away from it, standing up and taking it on. You don't have to always be jacked up and excited about it. Sometimes all you gotta do is outlast it. You just gotta keep moving forward. If you're feeling hurt, keep moving. If you're crying, keep moving. If you don't know what's gonna happen, keep moving. I just need you to keep the momentum going and not sit down and feel sorry for yourself. You might not see it right now, but all this crap you're dealing with now, you're gonna be glad it happened. You'll feel fortunate that it all went bad. Because what you're gonna learn in this process is that
Situations are going to make you into an unstoppable beast. You don't become a beast when all is going well. There has to be pressure. There has to be pain. There has to be darkness.
No matter how bad things get, you gotta keep fighting. It's about taking a stand, standing courageously, daringly, and boldly against the odds.
No matter how dire the situation, no matter how insurmountable the obstacles, you keep moving forward. You keep walking toward your dreams, no matter what. This relentless pursuit, this unyielding drive is what separates the victors from the vanquished.
When the world tells you it's over, when it seems like there's no way out, that's when you fight the hardest. That's when you prove to yourself and everyone else that you have what it takes. You show that no matter how dark it gets, you will find a way to shine.
It's not about the intensity of your battles, but the strength of your response. It doesn't matter how cautious or careful you are. Life will always hit you in the face. It's gonna hurt like hell. But the question is, how hard can you hit back? How hard can you fight back? How much of a fight are you willing to put up for your dreams?
Because if you really care about it like you say you do, you don't fold at the first, second, third, or even the 22nd time something or someone tries to knock you down and stop you on your path to greatness. No, you keep destroying everything in your path until you get exactly what it is you want. And you stop at nothing to reach it. Whenever you feel negative, whenever you feel your life is getting tough, I want you to say, I'm responsible. I'm responsible for my life. I'm responsible for what happens. I can't change the past, so I'm not going to spend a single second worrying about what has happened. I'm going to become so busy working on my future and my goals that I don't have time to think about the past.
You get so laser focused that you get very specific on what you're doing to make progress. You know exactly what you're doing. On Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, you know precisely how to make your situation better every day of the week.
You turn your tragedy into triumph, because that's what winners do. They don't just dream. They do. Winners take their plans, their goals, their visions, and turn them into action. They're not paralyzed by fear or doubt. They're propelled by determination and drive. Winners don't fall apart. Winners don't give up. Winners don't quit. Winners execute.
I've always thought of life as like this one-way street, and you head down it, and as you do, it sort of disappears behind you. You can't go back once you started this damn journey. You can only go forward. So you got two choices. One, you get scared, you give up, and then you burn up. And the second one, you say, fuck it! Fuck it! Fuck it! And you barrel through it. And when you come out on the other side, I guarantee you, you're going to be stronger than you ever thought possible.
I didn't come this far to just break down and lose now. I'm a winner. I'm going to win. I'll do whatever the hell it takes to get through this.
Now, if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But you got to be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Hold on. I don't care how long it takes you to finish school. Hold on. I don't care how long it takes you to pass that bar exam. So what, you didn't pass it on the first time? You keep going. You keep studying. You keep writing. You keep singing. You keep rapping. You keep boxing. You keep fighting. You keep dribbling. You just keep on keeping on. And if you persevere, trouble don't last always. Every storm that's come, it will pass. I just need you to keep walking toward it. I don't need you thinking about it no more. You're doing too much thinking. You analyze it too much. You're talking yourself out of it. I don't know if this is gonna work. I tried. I just need you to keep moving. I need you to make up in your mind that the only way you can lose is if you quit. I just need you to keep going.
Every one of my successes is stacked on top of failure. Failure is just another peg in the ladder for me to go higher. And some of you in this room today, you need to change your mind because some of you are thinking about giving up because you're in a season of failure. But just because you failed doesn't mean that God doesn't have a bright future in store for you. It is always too soon to quit.
I can't quit. I can't stop. I can't get tired. I can't give up. I can't give in. I can't. Why? My mama counting on me. My wife is counting on me. When you ain't got nothing left in your tank, you got to think about the people in your life that you're doing this for. And then if you can think about them, you can go one more mile. You can go one more day at work. When you're doing it for somebody else, when you like that lion, if I don't grind, if we don't grind, if I don't grind, they don't eat. I wish I could tell you you're tired, go take a break. I wish I could tell you it's going to get easier. I wish I could tell you that if you just keep going, it's going to get lighter. The weight is going to get lighter. I wish I could tell you that, but that's not the truth. The truth is you got to find something within. You got to find something within, and that's got to push you, and that's got to elevate you, and that's got to drive you, and that's got to move you. And when you find out what your why is, when you find your why, you don't hit snooze no more. When you find your why, you find a way to make it happen.
But none of this is ever going to happen if you quit.
Failure gives you two choices. You stay down or you get up. Well, I'm up and I am fired up because I have figured it out. And I can stay down or I can get my ass up. And I'm in the getting up business.
We all want to be a beast, but do you know what a beast is? A beast is someone who can go through hell and be grateful that their legs are working. A beast is someone who's lost everything, but is grateful for the opportunity to get everything back. And
there is a period in everybody's journey where they are so different because they've started to do new things that they no longer fit in with their old set of friends. But they're not sufficiently developed that they've gained their new set of friends. And they're unsure. Should I go back? Should I lean back into getting a bag in with the boys on a weekend? Is that the highest, way that I can live my life passion forward? Because that's what everybody else does. And all of my friends are taking the piss. Oh, not drinking again. Too good for us, are we? Not going out again this week. Oh, okay. Well, enjoy staying in home and reading. Fucking nerd. So you're going to feel the pain of being ostracized from friends that you used to have. But you're stuck in this messy middle where you haven't yet worked out who you are.
Be humble, brother.
And that lonely chapter that's in the middle is something that I would say almost nobody that I've ever met who has gone from a place where they are to a place where they want to be hasn't gone through.
There's 1,000 ways to say this, but listen, I'm only going to say it once. I fought for it because no one gave it to me, because it was just me alone in the gym, me alone in the mirror, me alone in my head. No one did it for me. I worked for it, and I'm never going to let someone else take that from me.
People want to know how I'm always motivated. It's the unseen work. I'm not running at 2 o'clock in the morning when I'm 5 in the morning in the gym, long sessions by myself. How am I able to just extract dopamine, the good dopamine, whatever I want? Man, I've trained 99% of my life alone. No one had me on the back. I did all of the work alone. And while I'm still hard on myself, I know what I did. So whenever all this, who's gonna carry the boats and luck, that's real. I hate that people know me for that guy, because that guy is not every fucking day. Like when they see me, they want that energy. That's not me every day. I can extract it immediately when I need to, because when you train alone, and I lived alone for so many years in this misery, and you're able to get out of it by yourself, I can take myself to such a level of real passion and purpose, and the feeling I get is something I can't even explain by myself. I don't need anyone. That's why people come to me to motivate them. No one can motivate me. I have a resume full of fucking motivation. That whenever I'm down, I'm like, oh, hang on, motherfucker. Oh, you know the truth. You know the truth. You know the darkness of the fucking dungeons and the fucking demons that fly. You know. And then from there, it's like, oh, okay, you were there. You know this. There was no one there to pick up the rucksack, to pick up the boat, to pick up the log, to go in there. It was you. was you. There was no path fucking back at 300, at 275, at 250, at 220. No, that was you. So those things that come out of me, that extract from me in the darkness, people are looking for that pound of back. Where is it? Oh, I don't need it. Because what I've done is in the fucking unseen work, I built Frankenstein. So
6,400 videos. Nobody on Air Circle and YouTube has made that much content.
That shit fires me the fuck
Fire.
up. That shit makes me fucking nuts. You had nobody anyway, motherfucker. Look around you. There was no fucking team. It was you.
6,400 videos.
Mom and dad waking you up saying,
I'm 600 videos away from 7,000 and making the most content in Air Circle on YouTube. Fact. Go check.
So, as times get hard for
Some people don't like that fact. Ooh, but that's the truth.
my truth is powerful.
6,400 videos. 4,037 subs.
Out of my brain as I speak about it. I'm reliving every single
850.
There's times where
863 subs away
other people around you.
from hitting me target, which I will.
You have to be willing to
And I said I'd make 5,000 videos, but I've made 6,400, an extra 1,400 videos. Some people haven't even made 400. There's nobody on Air Circle, in our little community, that has made that many videos. Go find the channel. You won't.
You have to sacrifice.
So, I'd like to thank all the people who subbed to this channel over the years. For a small channel, we built out a lot of content, and I've helped a couple of people over the years.
Well, I used to do that.
You know,
You go out and you don't do it anymore. It's very, very.
I can't even see your comments. Anyway, I don't want to talk, I'm not in the mood.
And you'll find yourself.
Somebody will watch it later on. I talk to myself sometimes. That's a habit.
Away from people that are negative. You only want to be around
You know,
positive.
I'm listening to positive stuff.
Your time on things that aren't productive. And
Man, you never know who's watching.
Taking your time and energy and putting it into things that you enjoy doing that are productive for yourself. This isn't for the masses. This is for those who
Yeah.
are behind.
Part of me psychosis, I talk to myself. It's a habit.
It's a lonely journey.
You know,
You're isolated. Those of you
4,037 subs
they'll see what their world ends.
and 6,400 videos.
You're a billion
I'm talking to the world.
and toward. Outwork must be greater.
Yeah,
You must be willing to extend yourself to
to
the
the
limit.
world, to me little
No
audience.
guarantee of success. Every day,
I'm working on it.
ask yourself, did I do enough?
Every single person who wants to do something with their life and has done something
Yeah,
with their
I'm
life
working
has
on
gone
it.
through
I'm
the
trying
exact
to
chapter
work
that you're
on it.
going through. And it's the lonely chapter. It's the chapter where you don't fit in with your own friends, but you don't have the outcomes yet to fit into a new group of friends. And you're doing this thing, you're consuming content on the internet, you're doing these free tutorials online to try and figure out how to set up a podcast and where do I host this thing, and then you're going through this and you're like,
It's a lot of videos to make for the community. 6,400 videos.
The sign of success.
It's taken 2.5 years to make that content.
What you can't do is bend the knee to their hate and fit back into the conformity.
You know, it's crazy when I look at all, like, the big YouTubers of Manchester, like, the ones that come to this
About to
city.
go take the red pill, and he wants to get out of the car.
Like,
she says,
Billy
"You've been down
Moore.
that road, and you know exactly where it leads. And I know that's
He
not where you
comes
wanna
to
be."
the city.
And then he
I'm not a
closes the
fan of
door.
the
Like,
other
right now,
geezer, the DJ
this
fella. I
moment that
don't
you're
know
going
him. I'm
through
not
is
a fan
Trinity
of him.
opening the door and being like, you could go back,
And there's a
but then you
few
have to
others.
remember
There's loads of
exactly what the
people
reason
out there
was
that
you
make
decided not to go out
content,
to
you know, on a
begin with,
daily
because you
basis
listen to
and
this
make
podcast,
money
you
off it.
consume
That's
this content, you're
smart.
like, I can do more than this.
This was never about money. This was always about networking with different people
And you start to see
and
the person
bringing
that you
different
be.
people
And you're like,
together.
this does start to
You
be
know, and
real.
recognizing qualities in certain people and their flaws. You know,
Other parties Friday night.
none of us are perfect. You know, but see, YouTube, once you put yourself out there,
It's always gonna be
you know,
a time to celebrate and a time to join friends.
See, I wouldn't say I'm a tough guy or anything like that, but I try to be brave.
They're always open,
You know, I was thinking about going into Manchester and making some content, but it's like a fucking war zone.
You know, to achieve your dreams.
You know, it's like if you go into Piccadilly Gardens, you have people swinging at you in all fairness, and I can't be asked for that shit. You know, it don't, like I said, like there's a lot of people in Manchester make content that I don't know. It's like, and there's a few I do know, but it's like a few people have said to me, Jude, why don't you go in and make content in the city centre? And I was like, bro, it's a bit digi, you know. It's very fucking dangerous, it is, like, you know what I mean? Because there's people from all religions and they're antagonizing each other. And if you're a content creator, like, it's like fucking, it's like pound signs. But me point being, all these big YouTubers in Manchester, not one of them have made more content or videos than I have. You know, and they make a career out of it. I must be the stupidest Irishman on this platform. But when I started this channel, a few people told me their stories. Like, for instance, Lena told me a bit about herself, and Finn told me a bit about himself. And the three of us, the one thing that connects us all is mental health and suicide ideology, right? And when I got my channel monetized last year, right? I think at the start of the year, I don't know whatever. I said I'll charge people membership, right? And when Lena come in my chat and I start chatting to her in the group, I said to her, take your membership back. How can I charge people money? You know, I didn't come on here for that. I come on here to get my channel back because it was stolen on me. Foxy stole my channel because I wasn't with it. You know, I dropped the ball there. And at the time I was on a mood stabilizer, so he took a liberty, but we'll fix that maybe one day, who knows. Manchester's a fucking, it's not a massive place, you know what I mean, but yeah, that, when he done that, like, he did me a favour in all fairness, because it's like, I like adversity. Now, when I come onto YouTube, I was way... No shit. It's like, that's why I don't go into town. It's like, because I'd end up getting arrested, you know what I mean? You can't put cameras in people's fucking faces and shit. It doesn't work. You know, I go over to the Etihad and I make content, and in all fairness, there's more cameras at the fucking Etihad than anywhere I know. So it's like, if you're walking around there like peaceful, when I walk around the Etihad, people come over to me and say, mate, can you take a picture for me with, not a me, a them, you know, and I'll say to them, are you enjoying your trip to the city? Obviously, like, a lot of people come from foreign countries, and I get along with football fans, whether they're City fans, whether they're Rangers fans. Like I said, I'll hit me target. It's very, very, very fucking hard to sustain a channel. You know, an independent channel where you don't make money off it. This was never about making money. If the truth be told, this was about, when I come to England, a lot of my pals died, right? And because I introduced some of them to the life, and they're not here anymore, so it's like, I wanted to do something something similar to what Jimmy Kershaw does. Shout out to Jimmy Kershaw in Ballier. He has this page, and it's Ballyfermot Legends and old photos of Ballier, right? And he has me all over it. It's up there, right? Now, this geezer's no fool, right? Anyway, I'm over the moon. Like, I'm humbled he put me on his page. You know, but when I come on here, I didn't know nothing about YouTube. I didn't know nothing about algorithms. I didn't know nothing about trolls. I knew fuck all. I was way out of my depth, and I bit off more than I could chew, because a couple of people, one person back home, no name, Griffiths, told PD that when I was 21, I shot 2 people and I went to prison. And when I got out of prison, the IRA shot me and ran me out of the country. You know, listen, and I'll tell you, right, where I'm from, listen, I'm not special. Do you know the amount of people I know that have shot people? Don't worry about it. It's the same in Liverpool. You do stupid shit when you're young. I walked away from that life when I was a kid. You know, I got out of jail and I was like, what am I going to do? You know, if I stay, one day my brothers could become drug dealers like that big brother. So I had to take that out of the equation. So I come back to England. You know, and when I come back to England, a lot of me pals have passed, you know. And this geezer at home, his name is Jimmy Kershaw, and he has this page, and he's always putting people up there that I know who I used to pal around with who aren't here anymore, right? And this was the whole reason for starting this channel. I called it STRAIGHTOUTTABALLYER because that's where I'm from. Dublin's like Manchester, right? You have Moss Side, you have Gorton, you've Openshaw, you've Clayton, you've got fucking Hume, you've got Moss Side, you've got Cheetham Hill. You know, it's the same in Dublin. You have rough manners everywhere, but I just come from this one particular area where it's just a no-go zone for anybody who's not from there, mate. It's like going into Beirut. Things have evolved over the years, and a lot of my friends have had a lot of children, like, and a lot of their children look up to their fathers and want to be their daddy and all, but a lot of their daddies are dead. You know, and then they've took the role on as their daddy, and, you know, it's sad, like, you know, but a few of us got away. Myself and Ian Gibbons got away, you know. We were very lucky to get away, you know, and meet somebody. It's like, because I'll be honest with you, I think if I had been still single, I'd have been on it every day, probably, maybe. You know, but I met somebody and they give me a son, and, you know, it's like, you know, it's mad. I know people go out every weekend, you know, and they're like, oh, I did this, I did that, and what have you. It's just like, I'm glad I'm not, like, you know what I mean, like that. Like that corner shop, you know, everybody that goes in, I know them all, you know. It's like the local pub. It's like, but it's the same in a lot of pubs all around the place, you know what I mean. There's a lot of stuff being done in the toilets and shit like that, and it's like, the landlady, if she catches you doing that shit in there, mate, you'd be barred for life. Yeah, but the whole reason for me starting this channel was to connect with me old area, and I managed to connect alright. You know, I managed to connect. Where are we?
To get to the pinnacle, it needs to be like that. It needs to be no outsiders. It needs to be, you need to have your team and your focus, and that's it. I don't need friends that aren't involved in this game.
Let me make a cup of tea.
Aren't on the same path, you know what I mean? Because it's just, it doesn't make sense, and that is the demon that I need to conquer. You know what I mean? Because I have friends outside of the sport, and you know I can get into trouble and go out. I feel to be at the pinnacle of any game, in any whatever you do, you've got to be a little bit gone to it. You're not all there. You've got to be almost insane to your craft. Not a lot of people can understand that. That's why I don't know about nothing else. I do not pay attention to nothing else. There was games of football on yesterday. There was rugby. There was this. There was that. And like normal society is like, let's talk about this. Let's engage in this. And I just don't. I can't do it. I just don't. People are talking to me, and in my head, I'm counting something. I'm counting up a number, or I'm knee deep in a sequence on the mat or on the feet. That's my life. Sequences and numbers. Nothing else. I cannot pay attention to nothing else.
Connor, you've been dreaming about this moment. You've been talking about this moment. Honestly, though, does it feel the way you thought it would?
Yeah, it does. It feels beautiful. I dreamt this so much, so clearly, so precisely, and so frequently that it has manifested itself into reality. And that's what I'm feeling right now. It's a dream come true.
Connor, in February of 2013, we spoke for the first time. You didn't have a car. You didn't have a pot to piss in. All you had were blueberries. Now here you are with the undisputed gold. Enjoy it, my friend. You deserve it. You called it.
Yeah, from nothing to something to everything.
I was asking you on Thursday about his right hand.
Yeah.
Can I tell you what you told me? Word for word. You said, I felt when we stared down, I felt his right hand was twitching, which was a subtle tell for me. He is ready to unload that right hand, and I feel that could be a downfall for him. If he lets that right hand go, I will not be there. I simply enter the way I enter, and that is enough. They either overextend or they shrink away, but either way, it is not good for them. I will create traps and dead space inside that octagon, and I will walk him into that dead space, but all of a sudden, he will be in danger. How do you do that? How do you predict these?
If you can see it here, and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen. So I see these shots.
Nobody's coming me live today. What a
I
shame.
don't shy away from them. A lot of times people believe in certain
But
things, they keep
a few of you will watch it later on or whatever.
I've been listening to laughter all my career. I've been listening to them laugh my whole career. They've been laughing. What? An Irishman when a cage
I do an hour in the morning, an hour in the afternoon. Whether anybody comes in or whether somebody comes in, everybody's welcome.
Now he wants to win a world title? Hell no, he's all talk, he's all hype, he's a joke. Laughter all around at the Joker. Then the Joker comes and wins the world title.
I need to go outside and have a smoke.
More laughter. Listen, the sound of laughter and the sound of doubt motivates me.
You go outside and have this.
I'm enjoying that. I see that. I don't feel no doubt. I don't feel like going and fighting any of these other UFC bombs right now. They need to rise up. Right now they're down there. I've got this situation where people are truly doubting me, like they doubted me at the very, very beginning. And that's motivating for me. That's what's going to drive me to the gym when I need to go to the gym and to put in that work to get that win.
Stripping that all back to the start of your career, a man with a dream, training in the gym day in, day out. If somebody said to you, you'll have or you'll be as successful as you are now, what would you have said back then?
I believe you. That's what I would have said. Because I did believe.
Yes.
I believed in it. I had very few people who told me that. I had a small group of people that would tell me something like that. Other than that, it was just me telling myself.
Yep.
So if someone came up to me and told me that all the way back then, I'd say, you're right. I was a waster. Got that, called that a lot, you know what I mean? But like, and then when I start getting make this happen, and then now that has happened, I'm making it happen. It's depressing times for a lot of people around. There's a lot of bad stuff going on in the country. A lot of people are struggling. Everybody's struggling. But now, since them seeing me chase this dream, it's giving them an energy, and I see it release a light. And that alone spurs me on even more. So it's all just a perfect storm that's happening for me. And that is why I have this tunnel vision. And that's why I'm willing to kill every single man in my path to get that belt, you know what I mean? To secure
Hello, gorgeous.
my family's future. You know what I mean? That's what I'm doing it for. Well, I'm doing it because for the love of movement, and I'm also doing it to secure my, because I
Seen earlier on,
to secure my family's future. So
he said to me, Jude, there's something wrong
I love can actually secure my family's
The
future
sound is
and
okay.
make us live a good life for the rest of our days. You know what I mean? And it's not work. I don't work. I live. You know what I mean? I don't have a job. I just have a life. No matter what was going on, some deep situations, I always had the belief that I was going to get here. I was going to get to the UFC. I was going to get, because I just knew I was different.
You just knew he was different.
Because I just knew I was different. I know I'm different than these people. I'm enjoying the fruits of my hard work. Nobody works harder than me inside the octagon, outside the octagon. I am a workhorse.
6,400 videos. If you're watching this now, later, or tonight, there's no one on here that's made that much content. I'm getting a cold.
It's human nature. Some people will sit and take positivity from that. They will look at that and
It's
take
cold outside,
inspiration
brother.
It will inspire them to go and push for that. Others will shell up and critique it and be negative towards it. But one thing is sure, those people will stay where they are. The people who take inspiration from it will rise up and also one day experience that life. So this is human
I hope
nature.
you're all enjoying it.
But I am enjoying my money, my hard-earned money that I
And I'll be
have
back on
dedicated my life
sometime
to.
tomorrow.
I can be a product of my environment, you know what I mean? If I'm in with the wrong crowd, I just kind of become wherever, you know what I mean? So that's why I like to be isolated. And that's why has helped me coming out here and being locked in an apartment on my own, building back up my leg, going from rehab to home, because there was no outsiders. It was isolation, it was visualization, it was motivation, and it was dedication. There was nothing else going on in my life, you know what I mean? To get to the pinnacle, it needs to be like that. It needs to be no outsiders. It needs to be, you need to have your team and your focus, and that's it. I don't need friends that aren't involved in this game.
Who's the 5 biggest
That
YouTubers in
aren't on the
Manchester?
same
I'm
path, you know what I
fucking
mean?
getting a cold, I am.
Makes sense. I know nobody can tell me that I move the same as any of these guys, because I don't move the same. I move differently. I move
I have a
unique, and I know
prediction
I move.
for you, right? Conor McGregor, if you're watching this now, later, tonight, tomorrow, whenever, I bet you Conor McGregor and Khabib Nurmagomedov will headline the White House in 2026. I guarantee you, yeah. Khabib Nurmagomedov, they've been fighting online, and Conor's been calling him a scam artist, and he said, you liar. They're going to have a fight again. I can see it, I can smell it, I can anticipate it. You know what I mean? Khabib, he'll fucking smash Conor to bits, he will. You know what I mean? I love this guy. Shout out to Dagestan. I'm a big fan. Do you understand?
We don't kill nobody, we don't push nobody, we don't make nobody, like, if you don't want, okay, leave. Like,
shout out to Khabib Nurmagomedov. I hope he smashes Conor to bits. Yeah.
What you want? All week you was work hard. End of the week, if
shout out to his dad.
This is good question.
You know, Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov.
Your 6th day you work so hard.
I'm a big fan of Dagestan wrestling. Conor McGregor versus Khabib are going to headline the White House. It's not going to be John Jones. It'll be Conor McGregor. Watch.
Good breakfast. You don't do nothing. Stay there. But if you come here, don't come.
You know why Khabib retired? Not because his father died. Because his mother asked him not to fight anymore.
You tired or not? Nobody cares about you.
That's why. Because he loved his mother. You see, in Islam, see your mother.
They walk out inside the
I'm coming in very soon, and anyway, don't worry about it, love.
Behind the scenes. This is not your business. Nobody cares about this. Yeah. He was tired, he had personal problem, family.
I got a W the weekend.
You don't know, like, you just see how he fight and he go. Yeah. And for this one, you have to train so hard. If you don't want,
you know, I listened to my father as a kid. And when I didn't listen, he used to beat it into me.
One more thing, like, about your mental toughness. Because when you go to the cage, you have so many emotional counts same time on your head. And
my dad was very tough on me. He beat the brakes off me and me mother.
Separate places, but if everything come on your
He taught me
mind
how
and
to not
this
let you
can
off the ground.
make you weak, this can make you break, can make you
Yeah.
strong, you know. It's like these things
Are you a boy or you a girl?
big difference between regular
I
fighters
listen
and
to my
champions.
father.
Because biggest
Like
fight in
Khabib,
UFC
listen to
history.
his.
Like millions people watching,
Alhamdulillah.
and it was like big
Tomorrow
pressure.
night, guys,
This
I'm
guy,
going
like you
to
say, he was
smash
talking too
your
much.
boy.
You're talking about Conor.
Like, yes, I talk about
Conor McGregor versus Khabib Nurmagomedov, White House, 2026.
big pressure on me. And I remember
Right in your calendar. It's happening.
Hey, remember,
It's just not being released
how
yet.
people make
I'll tell you another thing that's been happening behind the scenes. Big John Fury is going to be fighting Joe Egan, and Misfits are back in it. And it's not been announced yet, but a little birdie told a little birdie who told a little birdie who told a little birdie who told me. Joe Egan versus Tyson Steady. That's gonna happen, right? And Khabib versus Conor McGregor 2 on the White House lawn in 2026.
Under big pressure.
Cancel it. It's
If
happening.
you can handle this pressure, you're gonna become.
You know the way Adrian and Rocky didn't want to fight, and she told him to go and fight.
We have food.
You know Habib's mother. She's gonna see them insults and tell her son, one more fight, and he like an animal. He'll pick Conor up and bounce him off the ground.
If you don't have stability, if you don't recover between
Alhamdulillah,
you're never gonna
it'll happen.
Success. I talk about MMA, mixed martial arts. You know, you have to train every day. You have to do same thing: sparring, grappling, wrestling, running, like meets, bag, every single day. Like you cannot, like if you fight it, you cannot sing and come to inside the cage and win. No, you have to do same thing every single day, and so many years, you know. You have to sacrifice everything what you have.
Готовьтесь, приходите, готовьтесь, тренируйте. Самое главное, не пропускайте все. Потом вы один раз подеретесь, если выиграете, да, иншалла, 1, 2, 3, вы уже в хале входите, да, и потихоньку уже знаете, что 2, 3, 4 вы выиграли, вы знаете, через 2-3 месяца бой, через 2-3 месяца бой. Бой сделали, там 2-3 недели отдохнули, пришли заново, 2-3 месяца отпахали бой. Вот так потихоньку будете расти, если вы хотите выступать, тренироваться. Не как геймбан. Месяц потренировался, 4 месяца где-то там своим движением занимается. Станка вообще. Это начиная с января месяца, прошло уже полгода. Сколько зарядок ты пропустил? Больше половины. А ты же еще говоришь, что ты хочешь тренироваться, выступать, там я же хожу. Ты даже половину зарядок не сделал. Ты на половину тренировках даже не был. Как ты хочешь, чтобы у тебя результат был?
Like this is mental game. This is not only about your skills. You have to be 100% with your mental
guys,
skills.
I'm gonna bring
When
this
everything
live
comes
to an
together
end very
and you're
soon.
not old, when you're 32.
Yeah, and thanks for coming in, but that's what I can see happening in 2026.
If the lion is the king of the jungle,
Conor McGregor
how can he be the king of the jungle
versus Khabib 2.
if he's not the biggest? The elephant
White
is probably
House
one of the
lawn,
biggest.
you couldn't get a bigger platform.
You can't be the fastest because that's a cheetah.
Can you imagine how many millions of
He
people
can't be
will
the
watch that?
smartest. So he's not the biggest, the fastest, or the smartest. So how does a lion become the king of the jungle? His mentality. That's the only difference of a lion and an elephant. When a lion walks up and sees
Finn, if you watch this later on, I'm sorry about me sound earlier on.
the elephant, he thinks lunch. The elephant thinks run. And it's all mentality. Because when a male lion walks up, he may be outnumbered by a pack of hyenas, but I'm king of my jungle because of my mentality.
What happens when you're a gazelle and you're not being pushed, you're not being prodded, you're not given a reward, nobody's encouraging you? What
You hear
happens
the
when
wind
you're a
out
gazelle
there?
and the lion's not chasing you anymore? You stop running. But what happens when you're a lion? When you're a lion, it does not make a difference. You realize that if your family is going to eat, that if that pack of lions is to survive, then you gotta go hunt. A part of being a beast just ain't eating a gazelle. A part of being a beast is the hunt. It's the hunt that they're excited about. They like to see the gazelles run. Then boom, they take off.
Right, I'm gonna bring this live to an end, and I'll be back on sometime tomorrow. But yeah, here's a prediction: Conor McGregor versus Khabib Nurmagomedov in the new year. Joe Egan versus Big John Fury is gonna happen. Come here and I tell you, right? I'll tell you how I know, right, as well. Because a birdie told a birdie who told a birdie that told a birdie that told a birdie that told me. John Fury and Joe Egan, it's been penciled in, but they're not allowed to talk about it at the moment. Why do you think John Fury made that video and you see him smiling like a fucking llama? You know, I knew he was holding on to something. It's like, so somebody's backing them. I don't know whether it's Misfits, but the fight is going to happen. Maybe in the new year. Like, who wants to see two old men fight? I do. You know what I mean? I'll watch two women fight. It doesn't matter who fights, as long if a woman's not going to. It's like, so I reckon that fight could generate a lot of interest. You know, a lot of Misfits boxing fans, it's like they'd watch it. They've got a massive platform. You know, you're talking KSI, you know, Logan Paul, fucking, you know, geezers like that, like them fuckers. Like, he's got the #1 podcast in the world, Impulsive. You know, KSI and himself, like, they're two of the biggest fucking social media personalities you can get out there. I'm getting a fucking cold. Shout out to Finn for this morning, bro. I'm sorry about the fucking sound this morning. I know you'll watch this live back. Like I said, even if anybody, it doesn't matter who comes in, they'll watch this live back. You know what I mean? But shout out to everybody. You know, last week, I'm not joking you, man, I was just like fucking there. You know, like fuck YouTube for a second, you know what I mean? Like, life, sometimes you have problems and you have issues and you have to deal with them. You know, sometimes men are very stubborn and we won't admit certain things to ourselves. You know, it's like what funny species, you know what I mean? But it's good to have people around you. Shout out to me bro, who's watching me probably right now. How are you, Baldy? Yeah, shout out to me brother, man. Shout out to them all, in fact. You know, yous missed it the other night. I know yous couldn't get there and all, but it's like, yeah, it was still nice. I showed up, you know what I mean? It's like, but it was a good night. Right, I'm going to end this live, guys. Thanks for coming in, and I'll be back on tomorrow. But I really think Joe Egan, John Fury, that fight is already going to happen, because he made a video and he was smiling like a Cheshire cat. Do you understand? And he's very easy to fucking read. You know what I mean? I'll tell you one thing. At least he'll be able to get a new fucking cooker and a new fucking pan, because that pan that he has looked like somebody, about 5 people have shit in it. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck me, mate. Like, wow. I understand living like a Neanderthal is a travelling way for a lot of men. You know, they like the seclusion and the isolation, and you know, there's a lot of travelling men out there that are like that. They're like Neanderthals, you know. They're certain breed and they believe in certain things, and there's a lot of gypsies, old-fashioned gypsies, you know what I mean, that live the old life, you know. But it's not the same as it used to be for travellers, because a lot of travellers now are settling down and they're moving into houses. So you're not really, you are a gypsy, yeah, it's like, but travellers don't have houses. Do you understand? Like, they stay on the road, like, you know, in convoys, and they go to a place for 2 days, and then the local council will evict them. And, you know, you want a home, you know, somewhere where you can go, and, you know, you don't have to you know what I mean? It's like, it must be hard, like, you know what I mean? But I understand how society is, you know what I mean? And stigma is an awful thing. You know, I know a lot of good fucking gypsy men. You know, a lot of the best Keenan men live in Beswick. You know, most of the gypsies down there are Collinses and Keenans. And shout out to all them boys. You know, a lot of tough men go in that pub, man. Davy Keenan, he owns the boxing club in Clayton. Runs it. Sorry, he doesn't own it, he runs it. You know what I mean? He's a great coach. Great striking coach. See the shot and take it. That's the way you have to. When if you have a boxing mindset and you know how to fight, you have to see the shot and then take it. You know what I mean? Don't hesitate. You know, just demonstrate. Anyway, I'm out. Bless you tomorrow.